Hello, this is Sen John with the Armenian National Committee here in Washington, D.C. As you can see over my shoulder right here, the U.S. Senate will convene at 10 a.m. To consider the National Defense Authorization Act. Now, this is, as I've shared with you a couple times in the past, a large, far-ranging defense authorization bill that will, we hope and expect, this morning include 3 amendments that matter to us as Americans of Armenian heritage, our coalition partners, our allies, anyone who cares about basic fairness and the security and survival of the Armenian people. So, as I said, right over here, you can see the Senate is getting ready to come into session. When they do, one of the first items on their agenda will be the National Defense Authorization Act. That act will, we hope, we expect, include 3 provisions, 3 amendments that are immensely important to us. The first, and certainly the most important, is the Menendez Amendment to enforce Section 907, to finally put a stop to U.S. military aid to Azerbaijan. Now, it's been going on for years, but the fact that it continued even after Azerbaijan's attack, even amid Azerbaijan's ongoing invasion and killing of Armenians just yesterday, this is simply intolerable. And the fact that Bush and Obama and Trump waived this, every one of those waivers, every one of those failures of enforcement were inexcusable, but most inexcusable of all was by President Biden, who waived this law, who allowed U.S. military to continue to Azerbaijan, even in the wake of Azerbaijan's attack, even amid their ongoing aggression, occupation, invasion of Armenian territory. We're funding them. The Azerbaijani government is doing everything they're doing with the moral support, the material support of the U.S. taxpayer. That's simply unacceptable. The Menendez Amendment would put a stop to that. The Menendez Amendment says we're going to enforce Section 907. We're not going to give the president sort of unfettered waiver authority. We're going to take back the spirit and letter of this law by not allowing presidents to abuse this waiver authority. It's actually really the most American of amendments because it is the legislature, it is the U.S. Senate and House that write our laws. And when those laws are ignored, they have the right to tell the executive branch, well, you abused a privilege, you abused a right that was enacted into law, and now the Congress is going to reclaim that authority. So we're really supportive of that. The most important thing that needs to happen this morning is the adoption of the Menendez Amendment in support of Section 907. That's number 1. Number 2, the second Menendez Amendment deals with an investigation into the U.S. parts found in Turkish drones, and that's certainly very important. Those drones proved to be incredibly lethal. A NATO ally, so-called NATO ally, Turkey, the worst ally ever, is basically incorporated U.S. parts into a weapon system, into the Bayraktar drones, shipped those drones to Azerbaijan, which then used them against civilians in Artsakh. Now, that may very well represent a violation of U.S. export laws. We've seen Senator Menendez question the administration under oath before the Senate. We've seen 28 members of Congress. You can see here that we're getting ready to start up. The Senate's getting ready to start up. We've seen Congressional Research Service report. We've seen Senate hearing queries. We have seen legislative letters, right, signed on a bipartisan basis. We have seen an amendment passed the House of Representatives, the Cardina-Schiff Amendment. We've seen a lot of attention to this issue, but no answers. And what Senator Menendez is seeking is simply a responsiveness on the part of this administration to say, here's what we know about the Turkish drone program, here's what we know about the U.S. parts, here's our finding about the legality of Turkey incorporating U.S. parts in a weapon system that was then used to kill innocent Armenians in Artsakh. That's the second amendment. The third amendment is by Senator Alex Padilla, great ally and friend of the Armenian community from California, and his amendment looks at the war crimes. He introduced this in response to Azerbaijani war crimes in terms of prohibited munitions like white phosphorus and cluster bombs that Azerbaijan used against Artsakh. Obviously the drone program and the mercenaries as well. The third item is the mercenaries, the Turkish recruited jihadist mercenaries that were brought in from Syria, possibly even from Pakistan, into this war that Azerbaijan then weaponized against Artsakh. These need to be examined, right? And they've been given a free pass. Azerbaijan's gotten a free pass on its attack last fall. There's been Ilham Aliyev himself boasts about this war. He credits himself with starting it and credits his army with prosecuting it, and is open and loud and proud in touting and boasting about his attack. That's in Baku. Here in Washington, our Department of State, our White House, our National Security Council lacks the courage, the spine, to even go as far as Azerbaijan goes in boasting about its aggression. So Azerbaijan boasts about its aggression, proud of it. The U.S. just, plays it, does the false parity thing, the both sides thing, and says, well, we're not really sure who started it. Well, if you want to know who started it, why don't you ask the guy who started it? That would be a good place to start. The United States could understand who started this aggression by reading the newspapers, to read the quotes of Ilham Aliyev, who takes credit for starting this war. He can boast about it, gets all the points back home for being the aggressor. Here in Washington, a bunch of spineless people can't tell the truth. Our Department of State was the first agency of our federal government, the first executive branch agency of our federal government, established in 1789, in the very cradle, at the birth, along with the birth of our modern republic. They should, after all these years, have been able to develop the backbone to talk to a petty, oil-rich, racist dictator, this sort of family-run ATM machine we call Azerbaijan. We should have the courage to speak the truth to them, especially when they are free to speak the truth, themselves. It is something that needs to be addressed, and it can be addressed this morning. The Senate here, rather, is in session. So please, do take a moment now. Go to anca.org/NDAA call, anca.org/NDAA call. It's the subject of this video, and make a call. All you need to do is click on it. You'll get a call back, enter your info, you get a call back, put you in touch directly with your senators. There'll be a quick phone script. There's 3 amendments. Each one has a number. Mention the number. Say there's a vote today on the NDAA. Please support these 3 amendments. It will take you maybe 30 to 60 seconds to call, but it will make a difference. As I've said before, and I will repeat endlessly, senators are good folks, left and right, Democrat and Republican. They have many powers, but one of their powers is not mind reading. They cannot read your mind. They don't know what you think until you tell them what you think. They don't know how deeply you care until you show them how deeply you care. And you can do that today by calling your senators. Go to anca.org/NDAA call right now. Thank you.